And I do believe I hear some pigs. I wasn't sure if the neighbors across the field had pigs, but obviously so. I hear it every now and then. Anyway, good morning. So it's before the end of the new year, so I want to get in as much as I possibly can because it might come to an abrupt end. So I've been pretty active. Pardon me. I've been pretty active posting lately, obviously. It's okay. I listened to Jay's show. Wow. Good morning, raining cats and dogs. Oh, God, I hear the drummers in the background. They're all practicing. I forgot all about the big event of the month coming up. I got to check something. Through a fence, you wouldn't believe it. I got two dogs in heat here. No, Ginger. Boy, I'd say their hormones are going wild because both of them, both of them, I'm not kidding, are on the rag. Okay, girls, believe me, they'll do it through a fence. You think I'm kidding? Okay, Sal, Sal. Okay. All right. Where, hello, Brisket. We was kind of encouraging Barry to go on the run. Well, here's the thing. He's got choices. And he knows the choices he has to make because the aftermath is not going to be it's not going to be very good. That I know. He knows what he has to do, but he's stubborn and he's cocky. Because all this talk about love and loving your girl. I did a show last night before I went to bed. If you listened to it, I was being serious. I was having one of my little moments, and I thought what I had to say was fantastic and real and no lies. You got to live the best life you can, man. So you know how it is. Get your finances together, find the right woman, all that crap. Well, it's not really crap, but not many people can really do that. Did you hear your appearance? My appearance? What do you mean, my appearance? That's. I don't know. Be more specific. Specific. But let me move on. We're approaching a new year. And I'm just, I've been just getting this shit all out. He has options that he could take or he does not. Now, first of all, I want to clear something up. We did not accept his guilty plea. You might say, well, why not? The guy's pleading guilty. No, we didn't accept it. Certainly on his attorney's terms. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. And if we don't accept his guilty plea, and I know one would think, well, he pleaded guilty. What's wrong with that, man? Just go with that, man. We could, but uh, if his plea is not accepted by us by the terms that we put forward, then the case just continues on, and this shit could continue for ages. So you got to think, what is more advantageous for him? To admit his wrongs, yes, he did. He pleaded guilty. As I said, that was not readily accepted by us. I mean, the court heard it, the judge heard it. Okay, the court clerk took the minutes down. It's in there. He pleaded guilty. All right. That means something to the court. But the way the court system works is that the two attorneys have to bump heads together. And neither one of them has to agree on any terms. And if they don't, the case just moves on. In this case, it's going to be someday in March. That's all I know. It's March. I know 3 months away, whatever. I'm trying to read the comments here. Oh, there goes the German Shepherds again. When you hear my dogs going off like that, it's the Arab guy, Middle Eastern guy with his German Shepherds, which my dogs hate, 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 hate. Okay, briskets and lottery. If someone joined a panel and played one of your shows, Kev was taking to it like it was you live. Then Bummer got on and started to argue with your recording. It was funny. Really? Was this the last thing that Kevin? That sounds funny. Was that the last show that Kevin put on? Anthony said, "It is true justice. Shaw goes with him, and they both get arrested and thrown in jail. That would be fantastic." Well, it doesn't have to be that way. He knows that. I think she knows that too. Everybody talks about lies. Well, he's lying to say he didn't get his girlfriend involved in this. Okay, we even got the recording. So, I mean, I even got a video on there where she's just, dancing around under the trellis, like life is so wonderful and life is great. That's really not an example of somebody who claims they have depression and PTSD and they're in fear of somebody. I don't know what you thought about that, but I didn't see that at all. Although Barry claims, oh no, that was done before this and before that. No, it wasn't. That wasn't not terribly long ago. Certainly after April, when a report first went in from her. Did you all see that one? Okay, that yeah, I'll have to listen to that. That does sound funny. I like to listen to stuff like that, and I will when I'm finished here. I'm laughing already, and I haven't heard it, but I'll soon hear that, and I'm sure I'll have a few more laughs. Uh, Bummer, Stefan says that Bummer almost tripped up. Big Kevin mentioned getting his monthly check, and Barry was like, "Yes, I get mine," and then changed it. Oh, he got caught. Yeah, I get my. Oh, oh, that's rich, man. Guys, what have I been saying all this time when his lips have moved the past 10 years? He's lying. But see, you got to catch him now and then. You got to catch him. He makes a lot of mistakes. He makes a lot of mistakes that some people maybe don't get a clue on what he said or remember what he said, but I remember everything. But yeah, I'll definitely listen. This has got to be something worthwhile listening to. So he had actually admitted by accident he's getting his check. So what does that tell you guys? For those that support this guy, who give him money or moral support, what do you think about him now? I think most people have come up with their conclusion already about him. That's pretty good. I'm looking forward to listening to. I really am. LOL. Sebastian sneaks out and hightails it to the brisket place. Really? Oh, I'm looking forward to this. So this is Kevin's last show, right? I want to make sure so I don't waste my time skimming through something that. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely listen to that. Oh, for sure. So he slipped up again, didn't he? Oh, I gotta get a message to you. Oh, Barry. Oh, Barry. One more year and your life may be through. Oh, Barry. Oh, Barry. That may not be far from the truth. He does not have good health. There's a lot of considerations this guy's got to make. Like I did that big soliloquy last night, life is precious. And I meant it. I wouldn't put it on there if I didn't mean it. I thought that was a good before bed show I did last night. Yeah, I talked about how happy I am and how things worked out for me in a lot of ways. And I meant everything I said. Absolutely. Wasn't trying to pass time and put on a show to get viewers and watch hours because I'm not monetized. I don't give a shit. I just speak my mind. But the difference between me and Goober is that, when my lips move, I'm not always lying like him. Yeah. Stefan says you could tell Barry is really losing it now. People were just bashing him. Man, I gotta listen to that. This was overnight. Well, remember, I'm in the Philippines. I don't know where all you guys are, but this was last night. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's a definite listen. I'm going to enjoy that. Oh, he was having technical problems with what? Who was he having technical problems with? Do you remember when he got a phone call? He was in the middle of this yesterday. He did a show when he was like really showing his true self. When he was having a moment where he was really truly telling how he felt about women and what they mean to him and how they should obey him and all that stuff. And they're pretty much nothing but a tool for him. And all this debauchery and chauvinism and all this crap. Wow, I learned a lot from that. Kev seemed hurt that Frank wasn't answering his questions. Kevin seemed hurt. Kevin's not innocent either. He promotes this shit. He may talk nice to me here and there, but if you ever listen to Kevin's show and it comes to me, what he does, he agrees with the audience. He's a people pleaser, so he can get some donations. That's all Kevin does. The guy can't even control his own money. How the hell can Kevin be broke all the time? I don't get it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. How can Kevin be broke? I don't know exactly what he's making, but he's got pension, he's got Social Security, he's not living in a terribly expensive place. But is he really putting out that much money on women for company? He's almost worse than Ricky. No, I don't have a soft spot for Kevin in any way, and I never have because he's an instigator. He's an aggravator, and he's an instigator. He always has been. He tries to play the innocent part, but he's not innocent at all. He's never been innocent. He tries to get people to get fights on his show and everything, encourage them to come up so he can get more viewers and everything and get people fighting with each other. That's what Kevin does. Yeah, why don't you come up on my show? And yeah, Kevin's not innocent at all. He's never been. But karma. Look at the life Kevin's living. He don't know what the fuck he's doing. He goes to a different country, finally leaves his aunt's basement, literally, not figuratively. And he goes to a foreign country and he has no clue what the fuck he's doing. He's gotten to the point that he's so lonely, he knows he made a bad decision. He's got to the point he's so lonely that he's got to hang out the bars, and the only way to get women to talk to him is to buy him drinks. God, how many drinks is he buying him, and how many? No wonder he's broke. And why, he's supposed to feel sorry for Kevin too? I don't feel sorry for him. You can't tell that Barry has hatred, aggression against toward. Yeah, you can tell that Barry has hatred and aggression towards. Oh my God, it's so obvious. Talking about a bitter melon, this guy. He's a bitter melon. He's extremely bitter with his life. But what he has to realize right now is he has some decisions to make. And I'm talking as serious as I ever have. He has some decisions to make that's going to determine his future. And he knows what he has to do. He knows. He knows. But he don't care because he's using his woman as a tool. And I don't even give a shit if I don't think he gives a shit if she broke up with him, other than the services she provides for him, bringing him food and supplies and occasionally some money and maybe, moral support, whatever. I don't think he gives a shit as long as he gets what he wants from her. Like, putting a case against me. That was so obvious to every one of you, besides having evidence that he did. He doesn't give a shit about her because he wouldn't talk about women knowing that his woman listens to all his shows. For a man to suppose he loves a woman, he would not talk that way on his show, knowing that she is listening. And how does she feel? That's the crazy thing. How does she feel about what he said? His chauvinistic matter, his disrespect for women and regards to women's feelings, and that they're only made for one thing, and that they're insignificant, and the guy wears the pants of the family. He gives out the orders and she follows. You really want to be in a relationship with a guy like that? Seriously. Everyone should know this BI that he is planning to flee the country. Anthony says the SS check talk between Kevin and Barry starts at 129 mark. Really? I got to record that. If you didn't already, please do it for me. You can send me an email with an attachment or whatever you want to do. Wow. Okay, so it's in the open. What's more to say on that one? Have you guys figured it out now? That he's really getting his Social Security check? Do you have any more questions about that? You would accept and listen to any more of his lies? Or are you going to address him head on and say, you're a fucking liar, bastard? You've been lying to us the whole fucking time. Some of the people who have sent money that felt sorry for him. Now you know. Now you know. Did you hear when Barry said, I'm effing her? I'm not effing her family. What a. Oh, God. Yeah, I got to remember that one. So he's fucking her. Say it. He's saying he's fucking her. I'm not fucking her family. What a class act. You're right. No, when you're in love with a girlfriend, you don't say you're fucking her. You're making love to her. That's all it is. Man, if I have not made myself clear and concise about what this guy is all about, then I mean, this proves it right there. That's what he thinks of her. He's effing her. Really. Again, and I can't help saying this. I don't understand completely, not completely. After all she heard, what the F is she doing with him? You guys could certainly give your own opinion on here. It won't be mine. I'll allow that because that's your opinion. What is it? What's the stronghold? Well, no, not even that. Banging. That wouldn't be proper either. Having sex, perhaps, okay. Making love, okay. But not that he's fucking her like she's some kind of a street whore. And I don't think she's a street whore. I don't think about her that way. And I've never said that. Again, I never said that. What she don't realize is that I have been her advocate for a long time. But Barry has been convincing her otherwise. I have been on her side that she doesn't realize. most of all this time up until she put a complaint on me. I'd been an advocate for her. You and I have been advocates for her. We've all been trying to say, get out when you can because you're going to get hurt. Good morning, expat forever. Yeah, believe it or not, I've been an advocate for her. I was an advocate for Sheila for most of the time. Yeah, I lost my cool with her one time, and I did say what I did. I absolutely did. But since that time, she's gotten over that. She understands where I was coming from. Because where I was coming from with Sheila is that I just lost my cool because I was just trying to get in her head that you're going to get fucked over. And I kept on telling her that. And as it turned out to be exactly that. And I really don't have nothing against Sheila, too. Believe it or not, I don't. I have nothing against her. I was just trying to help her. Like all of you all. It's been trying to help Barry's girlfriend and make her wake up and understand that she's going to get hurt, man. Whether it's legally, emotionally, or a combination of both. That's all I tried to do, man. I have absolutely nothing against his girlfriend other than this complaint prior to the complaint. But you got to understand, man, I got to save my ass too. She did put in a complaint, and we are going gung ho on this complaint like you wouldn't believe, with two more steps to come. We are going gung ho on this shit. Well, after all, I mean, come on, she wants to try to get me deported. Well, I'm going to sit back and say, yeah, okay, let's just do that, man. I'm not going to say nothing about it. Just let that happen. No, I'm not going to fight back on this. Tooth and nail, folks. Tooth and nail. Trust me on that. Tooth and nail. It's unfortunate if she gets damaged in the process legally. Well, what can I say? I didn't put a gun to her head to put a fucking report on me. I certainly didn't. Why would I do that? But as I said, I up until this point, I got nothing against her. I think she's probably an innocent victim, is what I'm thinking. Just an innocent victim, you know, who got caught up in this, who got totally caught up in this. Now it's too late because she did put a report on me. And as I said, whatever transgresses, stop licking that, Ginger. Whatever happens from this point on is something that she's doing to herself, but more so, it's what Barry's doing to her. And the comments you just made on this show about Big Kevin's show and what was said in there, oh, that glues it right there. That cements it. Absolutely. Misguided. Yeah, misguided. Stefan says she can be innocent only for so long. She knows exactly what's going on now. I think she does by now. And I'll put a direct message to Shaw right now. Shaw, up until this point, I got nothing against you. Never meant any harm to you. Getting sucked in by Barry's hate and his quest to get revenge to me, you got involved in this. And I'm sorry, but I can't ignore this. Please understand that. I just can't ignore this. If you drop the complaint, which is bogus to begin with, then you won't be in any legal trouble whatsoever. I guarantee it. I'll give you my guarantee on that. You shouldn't have done that in the first place, just to satisfy this goober. And you heard the way he talks about women. Why are you with him? No, it's a serious question. We all have that. You got to sit down and think without his influence. Sit down in your bed some night, relax, have a cup of hot cocoa, whatever you do to relax. Sit back and think about all the things your boyfriend has said. Think about his demeanor. Think about his behavior. Think about how he looks down on a woman. And you're a woman, right? And what thinks he's gonna treat you no better than he's treated any other woman he's ever been with? Do you want to take that chance? Really? Don't take that chance. You're still relatively young. You got your whole life ahead of you. He's not going to get bail. More likely, he's going to get jail time. You're not going to be able to get married. So why don't you add this up and do the mathematics? You seem like an intelligent person to me. See, I complimented you. I don't hate you, Shaw. I really don't. I'm just not happy about what you did. Because it doesn't just affect me. Understand that. It doesn't just affect me. Shaw is stringing Bummer along, just like him stringing her along. Well, maybe. Because this is a serious matter, and I do take this seriously. Why wouldn't I? You want to get revenge, you and Barry, so I can be separated from a real loving relationship. Not a fucking toolbox. Not handy Andy toolbox shit. Utilitarian type crap. I've got a real relationship, and you want to bust that up, right? That'll make you happy, right? Right, Barry? Right, Shaw? That'll make you happy. Really? Godly? Godly person that you are? You could live with yourself after this, knowing that you're trying to destroy somebody's life because your boyfriend told you to do so. And because you're naive and you're gullible when it comes to him, you want to really do that, huh? Well, like I said, there are consequences that come with this shit. Fight tooth and nails, and you might wind up at the Department of Justice on investigating your harboring and aiding and abetting this man. And you might be taken in for perjury. You want a case against you? I'll do it. I'll do it. I told you, I'm a man of my word. If I said I was going to take Barry down, I did. I'll do the same for you. It's not a threat, it's a promise. What you did was wrong, period. What would happen if tips were sent in to BI and the RTC that he's planning to escape? I don't know. To a girl like her, that's enough money to put up with Bummer's bullshit. Country Road says at Anthony, her father and family probably have no clue about Bummer. Well, he pretty much said it, didn't he? That there's only, he said, and I don't think maybe none of them know it. He said that his brother knows and a couple of her sisters knows, but the father and the rest of the family and everything. Well, then they changed their tune and said, no, my father knows now. Come on, man. Which is it? Which is it? But Larry, you and your girlfriend have to do a lot of thinking. I'll tell you that right now. You got to do a lot of thinking. They probably don't. It's Country Road. There's no country roads that's going to take him home at this point. The way it's looking, be honest with you. It's not looking really good, I could tell you that. As I said, I don't have a crystal ball and I can't predict the future, but I could come up with some logical conclusions to where this is going. Remember, we don't have to accept his guilty plea. That's a fact. And we haven't. We haven't. My attorney put out some options. They either abide by it or they don't, and the case just continues on. And Lord knows how long this case is going to go on. And guess where he's going to be? He's not going to be on the streets. He's not going home. He's got a lot to think about. I mean, a lot. I certainly don't want to be in his position. And I'll do everything to make sure that never happens. I'll tell you that. He's not living well. His health is deteriorating. He's gaining weight. He's eating shitty foods. His glucose level is probably through the roof. His cholesterol level is probably through the roof. Besides the esophageal problems or intestinal problems that he's having, there's a lot going on with him. asthma, the mold and everything in there is not working real well for him. And he's vaping. All right, maybe he did quit smoking, but you're still smoking if you're vaping. And where's he getting the money from that too? But I'm glad that I got to listen to Big Kevin's show. That's a definite. After I have breakfast or something, I'll listen to Big Kevin's show, and I'll try to look at your timestamp on there that you gave me. I forgot who gave me that. So he pretty much admitted to, so he's getting that. And oh my God, how does he even come on and put a show on anymore? I mean, I understand why. Sometimes I get bored, you know, absolutely. And I'll put a show on, past time or something. Yeah, I get bored sometimes too. And I like to vent sometimes too. Shoot me for it. But at least what I say on my shows is based on facts and not, you know, lies. There's not anything I've ever talked about on here that wasn't based on factual evidence. Think back on all my shows. Was I right? Did I make a good evaluation of this guy? Have we not proven that he's getting his SSD and all his lies that remember when his lips are moving, he's lying. Uh, you offers and your offer is incredibly fair and generous. Bummer is a fool for not doing everything he can to settle this case. Well, fool's born every day. Unless I said he likes his living conditions, that might be a thing for him. After all, he's never lived very well. Grew up in trailer parks and stuff like that. And when he came to the Philippines, I mean, he wasn't living in the nicest places. That's for sure. We've all witnessed that. Horrible, scummy, dirty little rat trap rooms. And, well, he's living in one right now. Then when he laughs at me and all that stuff, I'm laughing back because who's free making a show in his living room right now? He's in a nasty, mold infested, horrible room with no running water. And he wants more of that. I'll give him more of that. But I'll say this again and again, and again, and again, and again. I have no compassion for his situation, and rightfully so. Forget about this shit. It's only words. I hurt your feelings. He'll never get it, folks, because he don't want to get it. He's ridden with guilt, and he's admitted his guilt. So therefore, it balances out. He admitted his guilt in what he said. For some reason, he thinks that word is not a terrible word, but then he comes around and admits, yeah, well, I admit I did wrong, and I shouldn't have said that. And yeah, you're right, you shouldn't have said that. You certainly shouldn't have. Country versus Larry the Emperor says, I, for one, was surprised your offer was definitely on the low side. Uh, no, it's probably going to be a lot more than 250,000 for lawyer expenses. It'll be more like 500 plus, because believe me, my expenses are over 600,000 for this. And why shouldn't I ask for that? Look at what he did to me, my reputation. Certain words do hurt, can hurt somebody's reputation. People read stuff. As I said, people come on the show that don't know shit. They're hearing a guy saying that some guy's a fucking child predator. I'd probably react the same way. Oh, what a bad guy this is. They don't know any better. They don't know the history. You shouldn't have done that. Think there'd be thousands of people who, through time, have skimmed through his show, didn't know shit from a hill of beans, who he was, what he was all about. They just happened to tune in because he was live and heard all this stuff. And what do you think they're going to think? Wow, this guy's a scumbag. He really did all that? Well, they don't know any better. All right, let's see. Anthony says when he left the USA, he was sleeping in a tent inside of a garage. Yeah, I know. Country Road says, I look forward to your testifying in court. Frank's testimony will seal Bummer's fate. Prison time for sure. Well, understand that there'll be questions asked from my attorney, scheduled questions. I have to answer yes or no, and I can elaborate on some of them. We can go by what my attorney questions me on. That's how it goes, but it doesn't mean I can't add anything to that, and I will. The genre is jizzing for a second case. Well, he's kind of on his way with that. I said that's all written out and paid for. That's done. And it's all based on whether or not his girlfriend drops her complaint against me. A very frivolous, bogus complaint made to satisfy her boyfriend. You're not going to hurt my life, girl. You're not going to ruin my life if I could fucking help it. I'll tell you right now. I go down, I'm taking you down with me. You're going down with me. You absolutely are. There's no question about it. Get some more money together for your own attorney. Because if it comes down to something like that, you're going down along with your boyfriend. Then you got to ask yourself, was it worth it? Just to obey this chauvinistic pig's orders? Man, how could you talk down about women that way? Even women that I broke up in my life, I never talked that way about them. If they did wrong to me or something, I'd explain to them what you did wrong. But, I never looked down on women as being just a piece of ass and a tool and everything else. Oh, I've sowed my oats when I was, always single. I've been single most of my life, really, truthfully. I mean, I met and got together with a lot of women, but I never had a really long-term relationship. The longest relationship I had outside of my marriage was almost 3 years with this gal from Hawaii who happened to be Filipino American. The second longest was some doctor's daughter, which is about a year. I was not in any long-term relationships. But the breakups, I don't hate them for that. So I was free to do what I wanted. But even after the breakup, I mean, I would only talk about or say anything about it at all. Like almost drove me off the fucking road. Henceforth, the Xanax, my friends, believe me when I tell you that. Oh, yeah. It was a tool, but it became a need. Maybe I have PTSD. I've had some incidents in my life and some I don't talk about. Maybe I have PTSD and I got to deal with it with sleeping somehow. You need something, you need something. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, don't do it. That could apply to anything in life. If a relationship's working, keep with it. If it's not, get out of it. That's another thing. Too many Americans, they think Filipinos are untouchable when it comes to the legal system. Mr. Ballsworth, I say drop the second case on that lying sack of crap. No, 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 no. That's my ace in the hole right there. It's ready to go. I told you guys, one phone call or text, that's it. It doesn't work out the way I want. This is not revenge. It's justice. She lied in everything she said about me. I read over all my attorney's papers, what was sent to her. You know, the affidavits, the return replies and all that. Read what she wrote, read what he wrote, got it all here. I've been over this over 20 times. I've read them probably 20 times, maybe more. And what he submitted was some really good stuff. Right now, it's up to the board. But even so, if it doesn't turn out my way, I already said I got two avenues to address. So, because I have to spend more money because he did something that was uncool with her. Of course, I'm going to be asking for money and any of the charges on him. Of course, I'm going to be requesting. No, no, no. 250. We didn't settle on that. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Well, because of what he did with his girlfriend to put a case on me, it's going to be more litigation, mitigation, whatever. And I have to spend more money. I'm not going broke anytime soon. But nevertheless, of course I'm going to ask for, of course I'm going to ask for attorney's fees. I'd be stupid. I'd be stupid if I didn't. Is it valid to think if Sebastian is married, your case gets weak? No, not at all. I mean, that's what he's trying to do. He thinks some kind of divine miracle is going to happen from marrying her, which, first of all, he can't marry her, first of all. Let's just go back. He can't get bail. He can't marry her. So what does he want? What does he expect? Oh, I definitely got to listen to Big Kevin's show on it. I didn't know he put another one on, or maybe I just didn't hear it all. Last night, I mean, I'm in the Philippines. It'll be my last night, right? No, he's confused about that. No, marrying her ain't going to make a big difference at all, if it makes any difference at all. But Jesus Christ, don't marry the girl just because, you know. And this is what it really has come down to. If you guys haven't been able to figure it out, then I don't know what to say. I figured it out. It has to do with the tool again. It's what she can do for him. And the way he down talks about women, I mean, what are you going to think? The average Joe out there in the listening audience, his and mine, or anybody actually who's listened to him, the way he talks about women, it's just like they're just a piece of meat to him and a tool to get where he wants to be. He needs her to visit him there because he really doesn't have much of anybody else. He needs her to bring supplies, money occasionally, and to have somebody at his side. She's the go-between between everything on here. The biggest bugaboo that he did was to get her involved in a case. I'm sorry, and I know she's listening, but I'm not going to let go of this. In this case, it is my way or the highway. That's it. Second case will go in. If I get a letter from the Department of Immigration, it doesn't go my way for whatever reason. I told you I do have two other avenues, but still, nevertheless, it's going in. Not only is it going in for him, okay, but for her. I'll have a second case on him, and we're going to present this stuff to the Department of Justice in regarding her situation, perjuring herself with these lies. This is exactly what they are. They're lies. She must have picked up something from him, lying. Man, what some women will do to please their man, but this is ridiculous. This is overkill. This is overkill. The marriage talk from Barry is Shaw's benefit, just stringing her along. Larry Liempo says Big Kev deserves accolades. I don't give him shit. I know playing Sebastian is no great accomplishment, but he does it so well. Larry Liempo says Frisbee redefined gullible. Yeah, I gotta listen to that. I gotta listen to that. Maybe I have to have breakfast here if I figure what the hell I want to eat for breakfast here. Wow. I'll definitely do that. Do you guys get my point? Well, I'm sure you do. The guy, he burned himself. After adamantly telling everybody that he's not getting his Social Security, he blundered. And he does that quite a bit. I mean, the very fact alone that he did live shows on camera threatening my life, that's the second case, by the way. In part, there's a little more of that. But to come on his shows, and this is how stupid the guy is, to come on live shows on camera And even afterwards, threatening me, calling me a child molester, the whole bit. That's a non thinking man. That's a man whose brain is not functioning very well. Why would anybody be stupid to do that? I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I don't care. Just the end of the year, I'm just getting it all out. Okay? Why would somebody be so stupid to repetitively, underline the word repetitively, make shows after he received 5 charges of cyber libel against him? Someone with a working brain would never do that. Brisket in Lottery says Frisbee pulls the pins on grenades, then blames others for the smoke. Yeah, pretty much right. Oh, I know they're both going to be listening to this, and I really hope so. There is no way out of this situation, Barry, unless there's some cooperation. These are not threats at all. This is common sense. If you really, honestly want to get out of your situation or remotely, or have charges on you that are going to further your career being locked up, then you're on your way. Trust me, you're on your way. You're on your way. So how can you continue a relationship if you're locked up all the time? It's not a relationship. There is no bail. There is no bail. Get it through your head. There is no bail. You won't be able to get it. Now that that's out of the way. And you admitted your guilt, not only on YouTube, but at the court. You got a lot against you. You better turn into the thinking man statue. Ever see the thinking man statue? Where did they have that? What state was that in? In Seattle, they had the working man statue. It's a huge bronze or something statue, and the guy's got a hammer in his hand, and they got movement to it. It's called the working man. Why don't you become the thinking man? Because I'm sure as hell you're not enjoying your situation right now. Sebastian said he just got an email from just got an email from Social Security. Everyone did. It announces the cost of living increase in 2025. Yes. Self-incrimination, bummer. He said that. He said that. He said that. Oh my God. Alabama should have the coughing and burping mantis statue. He's the stoned again poster. Sebastian said he got an email from Social Security. It announces the cost of living increases. He wouldn't get that letter. Well, no, he would get that letter if he's receiving Social Security. Yes, absolutely. Every year. I don't get it here. And I don't really know where it's going because my post office box in Hawaii is all null and void and anything that's going to be to my brother who's not here anymore and to me who's not living there anymore. Hopefully there's nothing being sent there that the whoever is using that box, you know, because I don't think there's any kind of forwarding address on that. He's incriminating himself 3 times a day. He's been doing a lot of shows himself. Oh, hold on, folks. He'll say, I got to do something. I got to figure this out. Like, I'm not saying he's not in a bad living situation. I mean, oh my God, the sirens outside, the car horns beeping, the loud Indian guy next door, partying, karaoke going on in the distance. That's murder. That's itself is punishment. the conditions he's living in. And does he think that if they're going to renovate the place, they're just going to let him go? Didn't he say that on the show, or did somebody say that? No, he'll just wind up in another facility. That may not be as well. I mean, it's still going to be a facility. Wow, 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 wow. So we're kind of winding all this shit down for the end of the year. Because I think the first of the year, I think it's just going to be hang back and play it out and see where this goes. New year, start fresh. And there's no compromising, man, as far as the terms he's looking for. No, there's not. He don't deserve any compromising, does he? It's all he does is talk about me and calling me the same shit again and again and more. Those are separate cases that I could do too on there. Erectile dysfunction, small dick, chomo, all that shit. That's separate cyber. I could put 3 or 4 cases on him. He'll never see the light of day. Country wrote 20 months in those living conditions. Kind of shocking when you think about it. Yeah, it is. Raining Cats the Dog says free speech is his motto, then blocks everybody. Indeed. Well, he knows what he has to. I'm going to have to end this. He knows what he has to do. And if he doesn't do it, there are consequences, of course. There's no negotiation at this point. He knows what he needs to do. And I think you all know what he needs to do. Otherwise, the case goes on. And that could be a couple of more years, considering it takes sometimes a couple of months or so just to get to the next hearing. The dockets are full. They're full. But if he enjoys his residency in a detention center, then God bless him. We'll give you a lot more of that, maybe more. Maybe you'll wind up in a real prison. I don't think he's going to want that. I think everybody knows what the conditions are like in any prison in the Philippines penal system. It's not anywhere that he wants to be, and he's in total fear of that. And that's why he's so comfortable where he is, because he knows better that if he had to go into one of these facilities, he's fucked. Majorly fucked. And because he's white, he stands out. He stands out for the bald-headed white. He's bald-headed, he's white, he's got tattoos. And then his lips are always moving. And he's bound to piss somebody off in there. He's bound to piss somebody off. That fucking Indian guy that's next to him should have came out there and fucking cold cocked him. Coming over there yelling at him like that. The guy's frustrated like he is of being in fucking incarceration. Of course the guy's not happy. Comes over there, hey, shut your mouth. I want to hear all your loud. Well, he's doing a bunch of loud talking himself overnight, but that's okay for him. But when the Indian is voicing himself out on the phone, whatever he's on, and he's upset. Of course he's upset. Country Road says you could hear it in his voice when he talks about being transferred. It's his worst fear. Well, that could very well happen. Like I said, I never say I could predict the future. I could come to have some reasonable thoughts about what's going to happen, but I can't tell you 100%. Can't tell myself that, because I really don't know. I could speculate based on evidence, based on everything that's going on. I could speculate that it's probably not going to turn out to be a simple slap on the wrist. I mean, even if it's 6 months in one day, which is a very common sentence they give out. 6 months in one day in a prison, that's a lifetime. That's a fucking lifetime in a prison. He knows he spent 6 months in prison, but it wasn't the Philippines. He spent 6 months over in Alabama. I'm sure it wasn't pleasant, but that ain't the Philippines. This is different. I don't think he wants to be in a prison. I really don't think. Remember the video of Bummer crying and repeating he can't take it anymore? Oh, that was a classic. That's what he's feeling right now, but he's trying to save face and be cocky about his situation. He didn't want to show his vulnerability, but we see it all, we hear it. He says he's not a liar, but constantly lying. That's why he's in trouble. Okay, I think I said it all today. Um, there has to be some cooperation. You know, I may have nothing to lose if you think about it. Might as well go all the way with him. Because if he's got a girlfriend as a report on me, let's say that came through and we can't fight this for some reason, and I get fucking deported. Ha! Huh. You think prior to that I'm just going to drop everything? Oh, no, 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 no. I'm gung ho on this in consideration of his girlfriend's complaint. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Saying he wants to go home but wants to get married so he won't get deported. That's the reason he wants to get married. And she's listening to this? Does she want to marry a guy that only wants her as a tool to help him with immigration and all this crap and deportation? Like that song, Wake Up, Little Susie, wake up, little Susie, wake up. She needs to wake up. She needs to wake up. See the light of day, what's going on in that relationship, and how he looks down on women. Oh, he's a woman's man. What woman wouldn't want this guy? He's got so much to offer, besides his violent temperament. Remember, I talked about uh, that condition called battered woman syndrome. Yeah. So that's what's going on here. I think maybe she's afraid of him. I don't know. You figured it out for yourself. And I'm not going to go into anything heavy on that because I don't want to make any illegal comments here that he or she could use against me. So I've been very, very careful, as you've noticed. But I'm going to offer my opinion. As I said, I've been an advocate for her prior to her putting this report in. I did this for Sheila too. I'm trying, Sheila, to save you the trouble of getting fucked over by this guy. And whether or not I should have intervened or not is one thing, but knowing his track record, I really thought I was helping Sheila. I really thought I was. She didn't listen and she had to find out for herself. It's the same as Barry's current girlfriend. She hasn't listened to me or anybody else. I guess she has to experience the worst part of getting an emotional breakdown in regards to this guy and possibly legal ramifications. Now, that has not been submitted yet. Not yet. But like I said, if it don't go the way I want in regards to this immigration shit, oh, I'm ready to go on this. And why not? What do I got to lose at that point? Larry Leumper says, I get it. The second case is your five-finger death punch. Yeah, it's one of Bruce Lee's punches where he barely touches them and they go down with no effort. Okay, guys, I do got to go. I need to get something to eat. I have no idea. I have to frost some blueberries. I'm trying to eat them every day until they run out. I'm trying to incorporate them in my diet every day. I'm not sure what the hell I'm having. Same shit. Same shit, but I got to eat. And you've been a swell audience. as usual. 33 strong, man. Sebastian must have been drooling watching Kevin rake in a. Oh, he made 100 in donations? Oh, I'm sure Barry was pissed. I don't know. Kevin seems to make the donations. I don't know why. It's the same situation. You can't feel sorry for Kevin because he's making decent money every month, and how he spends it is his business, but he can't afford to complain about it that he's broke. And you want to know the truth? It's the same thing as Barry. I don't think Kevin is broke. I think he just wants to live off other people's money. Sound familiar? I don't think Kevin is broke. It's another lie coming from another liar. Broke my ass with 2 fucking pensions coming in, a pension and a Social Security. You ain't broke. You ain't broke. That's bullshit. Yeah, what's going on with his overstate charges? He still doesn't want to take care of that, though. He still hasn't made a trip to see his so-called children. Going to Thailand took priority over his children? Come on, man. Another liar, an avid liar, is Kevin. He's an avid liar, a chronic liar. Okay, Bummer, you need to know what the fuck is going on. You need to absorb what I just said on this show. Because I meant every single thing I said on here. It is not going to be any leniency for you if I could help it regarding what you just did. What you did. Regarding the fact that you don't stop laying shit on me every time you do a show. Why should I have compassion when you're attacking me all the time? And having your girlfriend put a fucking case on me to get me deported. Why the fuck should I go easy on either one of you? If that happened, and I couldn't fight this, and as I said, I have 2 avenues. If that happens, and I couldn't fight this, everything goes down. I have nothing to lose at that point. Don't kid yourself about me being broke. I'll spend whatever I have to spend to make sure I get justice done. If it has to be only 1 person or 2 people, I'll do it. But something as extreme as getting me deported, which I don't deserve, he does. Absolutely. For zillions of reasons. Okay? But it's not right. I think everybody knows it too. Okay, with that being said, take care, folks. I'm sure there'll be another Barry video coming up anytime. Oh, hello, Popeye. I gotta acknowledge Popeye when I can. Hey, girl, stop that. These 2 dogs are so frustrated right now. It's kind of like how Barry's feeling in his jail cell. They're both in heat. And they do nasty things when they're in heat, too. They're talking about. Okay, girls. Did you eat your food yet? Did you eat yet? They're both here. Look at them. Look at me. Look at them. Hey, girls. Yeah, yeah. They love me so much. It's a great thing to be loved, Bummer. Too bad you never got to experience the real thing. Look at that face. Look at those faces. Look at the. Yeah. Daddy loves you too. Yeah, I love you too. They don't know what love is. They don't have a fucking clue what love is. Getting it or giving it. Good day, Raining Cats and Dogs and everybody else. Mr. Cats and Dogs, Jim, Larry Riemplo, Brain Damage, and who else we had on here today? Jim, Country Road, and who else have we been blessed with? Anthony, Brisket and Lottery Tickets. We had a good crowd. James Ballsworth. We said Larry Riemplo, didn't we? Okay. think I've acknowledged everybody on here. Stefan too, and Expat Forever. Got a good audience this morning. Not too shabby, I'd say. New Year's coming, folks. New Year is coming. Let's see what's going to happen this new year. I can tell you one thing: 2024 was a fucked up year. That's for damn sure for somebody. It wasn't very pleasant for me either. I can tell you that. Kidney stone shit. This fucking case. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit. Take care.